I'm talking today to Shulamit Nando. Shulamit is a medical coach and integrative psychotherapist. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Joanne. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Shulamit, can you tell me a little bit about medical coaching, what it is, and how you came into medical coaching?
Okay, how I came into it. I was already trained as a life coach, but I was looking for what is really for me, what I really want to be in this life, because coaching is about choosing life the way you really wanted it to be fulfilled for you, to have a fulfilling life. And because of my last many years have been about helping people a lot with symptoms and illness and like that, somebody talked to me about medical coaching, and I said, that is for me. So I went right with it, and I love learning whatever else is new. I grab it right away. I go educate myself. And so now it was medical coaching. That's how I came into it.
And do people generally come to you once they already know that they are ill and want coaching to help them get through that? How do you work with people?
Usually, to do medical coaching, usually people come to me already with some kind of diagnosis. And see, what happens is in coaching, you want to choose your life. And when you are ill, illness chooses your life for you. And now your life, you didn't want that. You didn't expect that, and your life is all about your treatment. It's about making decisions that you don't even want to make. You have no idea. Your life becomes sort of a thing in the decision-making of some staff that you don't even know, and then you don't even trust. A lot of us don't even trust it so much. So for me, it was very important to know that I had some say in the thing, that I can recover the reins of my life, and to not become the illness, which is a lot of what happens, like you become the cancer you have, you become the MS you have. You can be somebody choosing your life and building a good life in spite of the illness. So the medical coach really goes along with you, parallel to the medical process that needs to happen. But it's not about them. It's not about healing you. Heals you in a different way, but not healing your body from symptoms. It's more about it's the process of the emotional turmoil that happens with you when you are going through an illness, and being able to strengthen yourself so that you can actually have the life you want to have anyway, in spite of it. And there's a lot of things that you want to do that we know intuitively even. If I would only, exercise more, whatever, I would be stronger. So in the coaching, what I'm doing there is championing the person, giving them making their resources so much stronger so that they can choose whatever they need to choose to go on with their life and not take the illness as if, people think sometimes, if I get rid of all these symptoms, then I'll continue with my life. No, you can't do that. You can't wait for that. I mean, you can. But the best thing would be if you can continue with your life, and on the side you do what you need to do and do it the best you can and make the choices, not because you don't have a choice, but because you're choosing this kind of treatment and not that kind of treatment. To really, really take your life in your hands and make the right choices and make the right decisions and be strong enough to look for the way out, really.
And Shulamit, how is the coaching different from therapy, or do you tend to combine both?
That's a good question. Because I happen to have both worlds and a lot of the information of both worlds, then, like for example, the medical coaching that I learned is very, very based on NLP. NLP is something that I learned for psychotherapy way before. So I use the NLP for the medical coaching as I learned, but I also use a little bit of EMDR, and I use a little bit of other things that I know in my, my chest of tools. I have a whole bunch of things in there. I'm not going to be only doing NLP because that's the one thing that I learned in medical coaching. I have many more things. So I use whatever it is there to tackle what I want to tackle in my medical coaching. And it's different. You asked me how is it different, right? That was the question. How is it different? A person comes for psychotherapy many times, not only, because they're coming from, let me put it different. In psychotherapy, you look for where the pathology is, where the problem is. In coaching, you're looking for where the potential is and what are the resources. Now, the ideal would be to do these two things together, right? To combine. So when I can combine them, I combine them, of course. In medical coaching, I'm not looking at the problem that was set up in your childhood. I am working with what is in the present and what can be in the future. Maybe. And maybe. I don't want to say any more about that.
Shulamit, what do you think has caused this tremendous growth in the coaching industry?
I think that the reason why coaching became so strong is because you see results very fast. In therapy, you need a long time. It's about getting insights, you know. In coaching, that's not so important. And coaching is about moving forward, doing the steps, making the steps that you need to make, and looking for solutions and finding results. And that's very fast and that's very empowering. And people love that. People actually come for that. I know where I got stuck there is because in coaching and in psychotherapy, that's one thing where they meet a lot is, people really start feeling so much more self-esteem and self-confident. And coaching very fast. That's very core. And many people go to therapy to find exactly those things. That's where they meet very, very closely. So if I'm very fast going to feel self-confident and my self-esteem is going to grow and I'm going to see the results because I am running forward, man. People want that. And in our world now, we don't have, time and patience for, one day I'll get it and I'll move. No, you want to go, right? So coaching is very that goal-oriented and is very efficient. So, of course, people love it.
Thank you, Shulamit. Thank you so much for talking to me.
You're welcome, Joanne. Thank you for interviewing me.